Nosferatu, a 2024 review. All right, and beyond. We're gonna say 2024 and beyond. And the thing about it that makes it so cool is this is like the third remake of this story, third incarnation of the story on film. And just to give you a little bit, right? I'm not no expert. I teach English literature. Maybe I have an aptitude because of that. I'm a filmmaker, okay, and I write science fiction and I write horror. But I will say, what I found in this particular picture was the third one. The first one was Nosferatu, I think in 1922, and then there was another one in the 70s and maybe another one in the 90s. I have no idea, but I know the first one was 1922. Black and white, silent film, we all know about it, right? And Nosferatu was taken from the Bram Stoker book, Dracula. And I think that was the name of the book. Again, you can kill me, but all of this doesn't fully matter, right? And the Nosferatu was the same story as Dracula. Now, Dracula has been told. Now, Nosferatu has been told. And to me, the story has 90% of old stories from before 1970. God damn. Need to be updated, right? I think it needs to be updated. I think when you don't, I love source material. God, dog, I love source material. But source material is an adaptation. This is just that. It's source material. A film is an adaptation of printed, whether it's a comic book, whether it's a novel, heck, whether it's even real life. You understand? Reality TV is not even reality. You know, you want to see reality TV, watch court TV, and it can be very boring, right? Because life can be very boring. So for me, when I watch Nosferatu, I expect them to make a picture for me right now. And who am I right now? 2024 and beyond, right? I'm trying not to sound, I guess, reverse racist, okay? Because it's not necessarily about diversity. Because I don't think if they'd had Chinese, African American, or African in there, or Latino in there, it would have made a hell of beans difference. Because my critique, although diversity is important, it's not always important when it's a period piece set in a certain area, part of the world that wasn't necessarily diverse. Now, that said, I don't think England has ever been undiverse. I've been watching Bridgerton, and now we accept that these countries had Africans in them. France and England, Italy, they never was all white. Maybe Germany was, maybe Russia was, but certainly not England, right? So that could be a factor, but it ain't a factor for me, right? What I'm saying is, if you're going to make a 2024 version of an old story, there's some updating that needs to take place. Of course, cast diversity is one of those, but it's minor in this point. It could have been good if it had it all together, but what I felt could have been the addition to this was in the story, man. I mean, in the movie, where it's getting its praises and accolades from the beauty of it, the modernization of it, if that's a thing. It was shot beautifully. The acting was done really good. All of that was on point. And I don't even disagree with any of that. I think it was just as good as what people are saying in terms of how it looked, how it shot. But when it comes down to the story, my goodness, I'm going to say it's trash. Number one, I'm familiar with the source material. I'm familiar with the 50 million reincarnations of Dracula, right? I'm familiar with Nosferatu. My next Twaman comic book is pitting my vampire hunter, Thug Angel, against Nosferatu. So I had already done the research. This was a couple of years ago, but I had watched the black and white Nosferatu, the 1922. So I'm familiar with it. I knew it was Dracula. I knew Van Helsing came from that. My problem is that they didn't update the pacing. I get it. Things are classic. And if we're going to go in to see a classic, then yeah, we'll compare it to other classics, no doubt. But to compare it to today's telling of horror is whack, and to me, that's why I say it's trash, because I'm sitting there sleeping. If I'm going to watch an AMC movie, a TMC, Turner Classic movie, then I know I'm going to do that, and I'm down with that. But for me to see a movie that's supposed to be hot right now, I ain't got nothing on the Nun. I guess it's, you got to have good special effects, and it has special effects, which weren't available in 1922, but then the pacing of the story, then the mythology has to be updated. Add on to it. I don't think there's anything wrong with adding on to incomplete mythology of the times. If you're going to do a Frankenstein story, you've got to update Mary Shelley's work. No doubt. And you can make it still the telling of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which they've done in a variety of stories and done it well. Of course, the gothicness of it can be recreated, but I'm not a lover of goth for the sake of goth. There's nothing. I love black people. I don't just want to see miscellaneous black people walking around without a good story. No, I don't want to see blood and guts. I'm not a gore porn fan. So to me, like the ending, and maybe if you haven't seen it, this is where you need to tune out. I'm not intentionally going to spoil it, but I have to make my case. But the problem is, my critique is there's nothing to spoil when you're talking about how beautiful it is, how the shots, the lighting, the setting. You can't spoil a picture. They can see that in the trailer. You can't spoil that. But when you start talking the way I talk about the story critique, which is valid. To me, the story is the make or break point of the picture. If it is on point, it can make bad lighting, bad acting great. If it's off point, like it is this time, it can make the best acting, best lighting fall apart and be not worth my $15 or $20, whatever you pay for your movie theater ticket. Sometimes I'll go to matinees, sometimes it's 55 and older, and I don't have to pay $15. But for my $15, 24 if you're in New York, right, it ain't worth it. Because the story fell apart. She's beautiful. Johnny Depp's daughter did a beautiful job, but nah. So here we go. Because this movie, to me, is being compared to the Demeter, right? The Voyage of the Demeter, which came, I think, last year or the year before last. And that was a telling of Nosferatu's journey to America, or Dracula's journey to America. So that, to me, that was a better picture, right? And that, again, like I said, spoilers. You may want to move away or turn off now and come back like after you watch it. I'm only going to do like 6 minutes of spoiler stuff, but I'm not intentionally meaning to spoil it, but I have to. I have to mention stuff that may be considered spoilers, right? But yeah, the Voyage of the Demeter was a lot better in terms of how it went down at the end, right? Not only the end, but we're in a position now where we want our character, our monsters vanquished, right? And we just don't want them to stop living and laying on the side of the street corner. They have to, there is a thing called building, right? And I don't think that storytelling in the Bram Stoker era really had to worry about that. And that's when I say something has to be modernized. And in the story, we are used to stories having a big, impactful ending where the kill scene is bigger than the first kill scene. Whatever it was that you had in the movie, you're supposed to build on it, build on it, build on it, and you have to have a grand finale, right? This didn't have it. Now, somebody might say that's spoiling. I ain't gonna tell you how it ended, but I'm gonna tell you it wasn't grand. So that's one thing. The other thing, and this goes back to the voyage of the Demeter. Yo, come on, we need to see the killer. All right, come on. Even M. Night Shyamalan showed us the aliens in the Signs, right? He kept us in suspense with the claws and all that. Why? Because that is modern storytelling. We have to. Alfred Hitchcock, as beautiful as he is of a storyteller, in today's world, he may not become Alfred Hitchcock because it has advanced. The storytelling has grown. And to me, people want to see the monster. I want to see the monster. And I don't want to see the monster for vanity's sake, right? M. Night Shyamalan got away with it because it was a beautiful story, and he worked it. But that was one of my few M. Night Shyamalan movies that I like. Anyway, it's not about him, but what he did was he just showed the alien. We didn't really show the alien going all ballistic. He didn't show the alien eating anybody, ripping anybody. How the hell did they take over the people? He didn't go quiet place with his aliens, and that was probably what I feel it should have had, and definitely Nosferatu. He didn't go vampire. He drank a little blood. He was laying on top of people, but he didn't go Blade level vampire. He didn't go Daybreakers level vampire. He didn't go Underworld level vampire. And I'm not saying he need to be become some Shogun hero vampire, but damn it, what is the big fear of this dude? How does he get to where he was just appearing in places? You understand? He's just appearing. That to me needs to be explained. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the ending was anticlimactic. Not only how he died, but the fact that he didn't even seem like he was going to do something that people were scared of. In the movie, he utilized his power. Remember in The Mummy, Brendan Fraser, the Mummy had power over living things. He sent locusts out. So this guy had power over living things. The living things ate a dead person. We don't know if it killed it. It ate a dead person. And then it brought the plague to England. Now, the plague was aesthetical. We heard people died, but we didn't even see them decomposing. We saw a few lesions on people, but we didn't even see the horror of that. And that would have been even better. Now, there was a gore scene. He had all these Draculas have like a little emissary. Somebody goes out, a herald. Somebody goes, he's coming, he's coming. They all have this little guy, right? And that dude was grotesque. He was more grotesque than Nosferatu, So I would have liked to have seen, matter of fact, they could have kept the ending, right? They could have kept that ending. But I would have liked to have seen Van Helsing and my dude from Jack the Giant Slayer and all of the people that were fighting him off. I think the dude from Craven was in there. Come up with a master plan. It get foiled. And then they had to resort to Nosferatu goes full vampire on them and shocks the hell out of them like he did on Demeter. And then they use the plan that ultimately takes them down in the movie. That would have been a better ending for me. The other thing that I don't like is the love affair stuff. All right, come on, y'all. Every story doesn't need to have a love affair, right? Every hero a monster we have now, Freddy, Jason, Michael, ain't none of them are doing it because some love for a girl. Leatherface isn't doing it. We've gone past that element. And mind you, that might be Dracula's thing. I get it. It might be Dracula's thing, but if he's going to be threatening the world, then cool. The other thing is his origin. He came there, like, is he a genie in the bottle, or is he a leech, right? Because in the Bram Stoker, he's a leech. She called him, he's in love with this chick, and he can't let her go. That's a leech. All right? Now, in other horror, he's a genie in the bottle. Yeah, I prayed for you, you dumbass, cursing, you dumbass, but you let me out. Now I'm out. Now I might even kill my host. I might go alien on you. You might have given birth to this evil. Go like Nun. Go Annabelle. You know what I'm saying? You've given birth to this evil. You let this evil out in the world. Now we got to stop. That's evil. The Mummy, dude was evil, right? They portrayed him, showed him being evil. He was unleashed to the world. Boom. I would have liked that. So this is me right now. I put up a post, called it trash. I gave people my honest review. It got mixed review acceptance. Some people thought it was good. Some people agreed with me, but a lot of people didn't. And now I'm looking at the reviews online, and I just think it's this this acceptance of the Western narrative. And the Western narrative, whether it's evil, whether it's goth, or this romanticism around these evil people, like all these people that write letters to these villains and these bad people in jail, that's the same thing as this chick in Nosferatu. So I'm over time and I'm trying to cut it out. But yeah, maybe I'll critique all of Western horror and how expired a lot of those themes are, because we're at a much faster pace now. We've explored the origins of evil, and we know that, like Craven and like in Wicked, we produce these evil things that, you know, this devil nonsense. Devil wasn't even born in hell. So that's, you know, so these are the things, fast pace, the new narrative around that. We want a more developed horror, a villain, right? So if you hiring me to write a script or be a part of it, yeah, I'm a 2024 and beyond. It felt like we regressed. It felt like damn near this past election day where we went back to tropes that we had already gone past. I thought we was past that. A world? Come on. Anyway, yeah, Jeff Carroll, Sci-Fi Express Lane. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I didn't even introduce myself. I got into this so much, but I'm going to post this because spoilers was done at the end, and I put a warning up there. So thank you very much. Peace.